see it up there. Okay. Huh?
Is my head?
On TikTok.
Yeah, I told you that's TikTok right now. I think if I sit down a little bit, I'm good. If I get more comfortable, yeah, it's
Yeah.
good.
Loosen up.
I'm tight.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I know we are live now. But it ain't, is it going yet? It's probably take a little while. It is a delay. So I can sit here. I have Facebook up so I can see like the comments and stuff when I do go live on Facebook. So I can look at the comments. But typically when we do live on Facebook, it's not a lot of like comments because people really just listening. But the same. Let's see. Mm-hmm. Okay. See what you see about it. All right. So it's gonna wait till some people get in. We already got some people on now, some people watching. So guys, when you get on, we're gonna start right at 8:15. I just wanted to go ahead and get on so we're ready so we can start promptly at 8:15. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're watching on Facebook and YouTube, guys, welcome, welcome, welcome to the Glow Factor. If you're on TikTok viewers, welcome on TikTok. I'm very new on TikTok and I'm very new on YouTube. So um, definitely welcome, welcome. So we are going to be getting started right at 8:15. Come on in, guys. Tag your friends, share the live. Let everybody know we are live. Me and Dwan is here. We're waiting for you guys to come in. We're going to start right at 8:15. So we got about 5 minutes before 8:15. So just want to get on there early and be ready and prepared so we can start. So you guys can get in. Come on in.
Come on. Let's see this. Okay. Okay.
All right, guys. We're going to be here. We're going to start right at 8:15. So go ahead and come in.
That's a tap in.
Oh, do you paper towel? It's in there. It's out there in the car.
This is a chalk.
Well, yeah, we got time. You're not going to start to 8:15, so I'll stay here. We good. You can run and get it real quick.
I might run through a couple of wires. No.
That was good. Welcome, guys. Welcome, guys. We're going to start right at 8:15, but it's only a little bit early, giving you guys time to get in. Welcome, viewers. If you're watching me from Facebook, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're watching me from YouTube, welcome, YouTube viewers. If you're watching me from TikTok, welcome, TikTok viewers. Tonight, I got a special guest. We're going to get started at 8:15. So thank you guys for joining in. I am so excited. We're gonna start at 8:15. You know what? Actually, a couple of months ago, I was having lunch with Tamika O'Hara and her husband, and I was telling her with my lives and everything that I was like, "Girl, you know what? I always wanted like when I get on live, you know how they always saying tell me where you're watching from. Tell me where you're watching from. And then he would be like, all over. I'm watching from here, California, this, that, and the other. And so she was like, you should go ahead and start doing it now. But I never did. So I'm gonna start doing it from now on. This is gonna be my first night. Let me know where you guys are watching from. Let me know your city or your state. You don't have to do your city or state. You know where you're watching from. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Put in where you're tuning in from. So if you're local, it don't matter. Haines City, Lake Hamilton, Dundee, wherever you're watching from. If you're watching from another state, Florida, let me know where you're watching from. So, good. This is something that I'm actually going to be starting to do. So definitely let me know where you're watching from. All right. I got Lake Hamilton in the house. Lake Hamilton in the house. Damn. Well, they don't give a damn. Don't they say?
Ham in the house.
So guys, let me know where you're watching from. Let me know where you're watching from. So guys, tune in, tune in, tune in. Whoever is on, the thing about it, I can't never see who's actually on because mostly I can only see if they're like friends with me, so I can only see that. So whoever watching, guys, let me know where you're watching from. So I'm gonna start doing from today moving forward. I'm gonna actually start doing it. So let me know where you're watching from. Winter Haven by way of Lake Hamilton. We got Winter Haven in the house. That's what I'm talking about. Winter Haven is in the house. Type in. Let me know where you're watching from, guys. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know where you're coming in from. Hope you guys had an amazing, amazing Wednesday. All right. So it's Ashley, 8:15. So guys, we are going to get started because I got a lot of questions. A lot of stuff that I want to know from this man that's sitting beside me. So we ain't gonna waste a whole lot of time. We're gonna get started. But I want to say welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Glow Factor. Welcome. Welcome, Facebook. Welcome, YouTube. Welcome, TikTok. I am not on Instagram yet. I'm gonna need you guys' help to get me live on Instagram. I'm not very popular on Instagram. I haven't been on there a lot, but I need more followers in order to get on Instagram. So I want you guys to start following me on all platforms. Follow me so you can keep track on the guests that I'm going to be having. The month of August, I'm actually going to have special guests for the whole month. So I've already had Dwan's my third guest for this month. So definitely thank you. Welcome, Dwan. I got one more guest coming next week that's going to close us out for the month of August. But tonight we are have a very special guest. So some stories start in the most unexpected places. Tonight you're going to meet a man who once dreamed of the streets, but instead chose a path that led to education, success, and survival. From aspiring to be a drug dealer to walking the halls of Tuskegee Institute to building a career in computer software programming to facing and beating cancer, this is a journey of redirection, resilience, and rebirth. On the Glow Factor, we don't just talk about the wins, we talk about the lessons, the sacrifices, and the truths that shape who we are. So tonight, we want to welcome a man who has lived them all. So let's welcome Dwan Colbert. Welcome Dwan to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, of course, I have a signature question every time I have a special guest on. The very first question I love to ask is, who is Dwan Colbert?
Who is Dwan Colbert? Well, one word I would say that I'm adventurous. Excuse me. I'm an adventurous person. I once considered myself a shy, quiet young man, but I think I grew up out of that shell. But just to keep it simple, I'm just an adventurous guy. Like to try the new things, like to try new things, like to visit new places. Just like to do different things. Don't like to keep, the same old going. Just want to be a different guy.
So the one is a very adventurous person. You like to try different things. So when you say that, just to piggyback on that, what are some things that you have experienced that's been adventurous that resonates with you? Like, what did you do that was adventurous that you didn't think you would do?
I mean, to start, just going off to college is something that was an idea that I saw, and I wanted to give that a try. From playing golf, some friends invited me out. I think it was an interesting sport. I wanted to try it. I mean, those things are not in my neighborhood, so
Mhm.
I just wanted to give it a try. Even now, even with the bucket list that I have, I want to visit every state in the United States to play around the golf band. So those are some of the things that I see when I'm adventurous. I like to, do things like that. Probably some very uncommon things, but that's me.
So how many states you have been to already?
27. I've
Okay.
been 27. I played around the golf in 27 states.
So you're over halfway there.
Yeah, and I started this in 2001, so I'm I'm making some pretty good momentum.
Good, good, good. So I always I see you on social media all the time, commenting this and that. What is the significance of cowboy? I always see you saying cowboy, calling everybody cowboy, like everybody is cowboy, everybody calling you cowboy.
Yeah.
What is that? Like, what does that mean? Where did that come from?
I really don't know. It's just something I started. I think I got it from um it's a show that I watched. Armageddon show when the Russian when they went to rescue the guys out of space. That Russian he made the comment with "Oh you cowboys," and it just sounds so cool to me, and I just been using it ever since. I don't know. I think I bought that when I was in Texas. I was calling people cowboy. When I moved back to Florida, it just stuck.
Okay. 'Cause I'm like,
But it's a
what is
good
that?
thing.
What that got to do? Like every time, even like people that respond to you say cowboy, when you send it to somebody else, you're saying cowboy. I was like, okay, what is it? What is this cowboy thing? What is that going on?
Yeah, it's home. I guess it's a home boy. It's a mutual respect thing for me. If I screen cowboys, I respect that person. I have nothing but good love for 'em. So it's
Okay.
a, it's a respect thing.
Okay. Cool. Cool. So when you were young,
Mhm.
you aspired to actually be a drug dealer. Tell us about the mindset you had back then. What was going on, and where did that come from?
Well, when I was about in I want to say eighth or ninth grade, um, a lot of my friends at the time I was just quiet, consider myself a square back then, but a lot of my friends was started telling me, man, your brother's in power. And I didn't know what that meant. I had no
Okay.
clue what being in power was because I was a, quiet kid. I love my Bible. But as I started watching him and seeing the things that he was doing, and the money he was making, that stuff fascinated me.
Hmm.
And he had a few nice cars with the loud music, nice rims on it. That stuff was the hit in my neighborhood.
Okay.
I didn't say it was the hit. So that made me say, okay, when I grow up, I want to be like him. And then the whole entire neighborhood always called me Bill Hope in reference to him. They say I
So
look,
that's where that came from.
yeah, they say I look like him. So why not try to be like him?
Um,
So I wanted to be in power too. So that's where all that started.
look, you know what? I guess I should have resonated that
Hmm.
the whole, but I didn't. I'm a little slow myself. But
That's okay. That's okay.
okay, all right. So that's how you was aspiring to do that, and you actually started to do that, and
Well, I didn't start like right away. I didn't,
so you said eighth or ninth grade, you're a baby, so you're a kid.
yeah, I'm still a young guy, and I knew that selling drugs at that time was a no-no for me. I had a mother named Dwan Colbert that did not play.
Okay.
So, I selling drugs was an idea that when I graduate, my brother's gonna put me on. That was my concept. That was my whole.
So getting through high school,
Getting through high school, my brother gonna put me on.
he's gonna put you on.
Gonna put me on. That was my goal. That was my dream.
So when you graduated high school,
No, that changed my mind. Way before I graduated high school.
did you?
Yeah,
Okay.
way before I graduated high school. I eventually decided that I wanted to go to college.
Okay.
And what put me in that position was when I was in the 10th grade. When I was in the 10th grade, I saw the high school junior ROTC team spin that rifle, and that was a cool thing to do. I wanted to do that, so I got into the junior ROTC in the 11th grade, right? And I, tried to spin the rifle, um, and it took practice. So I used to take that rifle home every day and practice it. And when I demonstrated to Sergeant Turner what I could do, I told him I wanted to be a part of the drill team. He went and I guess researched me and said, Dwan, you can't be a part of the drill team because at the time I was in the 11th grade. He said, "Will take you a complete year to learn the routine, and by then I would be a graduating senior." So he said, "You can't be a part of the drill team." But they invited me to the state competition they had up in Gainesville, my 11th grade year. So when we went, my friend in high school, Kevin Henry, had a cousin that went to the University of Florida,
Okay.
Tasha Coleman. And he when we got there, he said, "Oh, let's go on campus and find my cousin." So me being adventurous, I said, "Sure, let's go." So we get on campus, and when I stepped on campus, it was my very first time on a college campus. I felt like I was at peace, like I belonged.
Okay.
I felt like this is where I belong. And we found Tasha's dorm. She gave us a tour of the university, showed us, life, college life, and it excited the crap out of me. Oh man, this is something I want to do. You know, so, but at the time, I didn't have any academics. As a matter of fact, I have a prop I want to share with you.
Okay.
Got some I want to share with you. Since we talk about academics,
Uh,
here is my high school transcript. Now,
okay.
I don't know if you can see this. If you can see this, you will see that your boy came prepared for his lessons. Starting in the 9th grade. We're gonna go here.
Okay.
We're gonna start here. You see, my GPA. I had a 2.1 GPA, which you think that's college worthy?
No.
No. And when I graduated, I was ranked 149 out of 249 students. Was that college worthy? No. So I knew education I couldn't get in. Education, they might just close the doors on me. At the time I was, 5 feet 10, 100 and nothing. I wasn't no big prototypical athlete, So I just said, Dwan, what you gotta do is get faster. If you get faster, you just might have an opportunity to go to college. So that's what I did. I went and joined track, and I had a nice off-season program, workout program. I asked at the time my brother-in-law, the guy was dating my sister, how do I get faster? And he said, go get you some army boots, go run in the orange grove. I guarantee you're gonna get faster. Okay. And I did that. And by my senior year, I got faster, and that's how I was able to get an athletic scholarship to Tuskegee University.
So you got a scholarship.
Yeah, athletic scholarship, football and track. Yeah.
Gotcha. I don't want to skip too far. I want to talk about Tuskegee, but I'm trying to stay in my little lane here. But it's coming up. Give me 1 second. But do you believe people can truly like reinvent themselves? Or is it part of the old version? Is a part of the old version always there?
Um, you absolutely you can always reinvent yourself. I mean, it starts with a mindset change. You know, once you establish that change in your mind, that you want to focus on something different, have bigger, different and bigger goals. Of course, that can happen. And what you said something about that old person being there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that once you was something, you probably always going to have some form of that person in you.
Mm-hmm.
But you can make a total change and do something totally different with your life. I've seen it happen plenty of times, plenty of times. So yeah.
Gotcha, gotcha. So let's go ahead and dive into um first before we dive into Tuskegee, because that's what's coming up next. I have what's called a globo. So in the globo, there are questions.
Mhm.
So I want you to reach into the globo. I want you to pull out a question, and I want you to read it, and then I want you to answer it. We're gonna do this several times throughout tonight. Okay.
Okay. So this is the
That's
global.
that is the globo.
So let me check out. Can I shake
Yeah,
it?
shake it like that. Yeah, shake it up. Shake it up good.
I like to play. I'm still a kid at heart. So let's get us something out the global.
Dig in there and pull out.
I'm gonna
Pull
go
out
in there
something.
yellow.
Okay.
Okay. So what does success means to you beyond money or titles? Hmm, very interesting question. Now, to me, that would be without money or titles. I mean, that would be waking up every day doing something that you love.
Okay.
Um, to me, that is success. If you can wake up every day, do something that you love without complaining um, about what you have to do, without worrying about how much money you're gonna make
Mhm.
doing that. I mean, if you can wake up every day being happy doing what you're doing, to me, that's the ultimate success.
Okay. Cool. I like that.
Mhm.
So you just kind of started talking about how you got to Tuskegee
Mhm.
was through a scholarship. So the question was, how did you end up at Tuskegee Institute, and what was that experience like? We want to get into that a little bit more. I know you had end up getting a scholarship,
Yeah.
but Tuskegee, just to talk about that for a second, that's a very, very historical
Mhm.
um, institute.
Yes, it is.
Very, very historical. Was that somewhere that you wanted to go, or that's something that you just put out different applications to all kind of colleges and Tuskegee came back? How did that happen?
Well, it as I stated earlier, I wanted to go to college, and the only way I could possibly get there was through some form of athletics. So
Because
after
that 2.1, whatever one
yeah,
gets you,
that
right?
wasn't going to get there. So after my high school football campaign, right, that following semester, we start, um, normally it's like a recruiting phase where you go through these teams, colleges will send you information, you would fill it out, send it back, and they just getting to know you better.
Mhm.
But of course, you see by me putting that stuff on there, and at the time I had a 470 SAT. I wasn't getting stuff back. I was sending it to the universities, but they wasn't sending anything back.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, Bethune-Cookman College came.
Okay.
That was the university that I really, 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 really wanted to go to because it was close to home. And at the time, I hated FAMU. But
You hate it?
I hated FAMU at the time. Yes, yes. I
Oh
hated
my God! You
FAMU.
know we got a lot of fan people that watch. Now, you know they're gonna
That's okay. But
they gonna tear into you about that hating family.
like
Go
I
ahead.
said,
At that time.
at that time, I hated FAMU. And you got to understand because Cookman is recruiting me. They want me to come to their university.
Mhm.
I went up for a recruiting weekend.
Mhm.
Um, that weekend, went well. I had a little low rider truck. I drove in there with my music blasting loud. So, we're cooks out there when I'm pulling up. They digging it. But anyway, at that recruiting weekend, we had to meet the head coach. Um, and before I get there, that was a pretty pretty exciting trip. We had a basketball game that Saturday night. We went in there. They was playing FAMU. I didn't know at the time, but my cousin was starting center for Florida A&M basketball team at the time. Kevin Glover, what's up, cuz? He was starting center for FAMU. So
Okay.
that sure enough made it very interesting if I would have went to Cookman because I'm saying, man, when I score a touchdown on FAMU, I can rub it in to my cousin because he was going to FAMU at the time. So, but anyway, when I met the head coach that next morning, um, the recruiter came out and said, okay, Dwan, you next. He asked me, he said, Dwan, what was your SAT score? I said, well, I scored a 4.7. And he was like, damn. And I know, I know he was walking back in that door. He said, don't you get 400 points for putting your name on it? I know, I know they had jokes. So when he went in, he came back out. He said, okay, coach want to talk to you. They had already made their decision that I was not going to be part of their program because when I got in there, he was like, well, Dawn, I lost a lot of offensive linemen this year, and we got quite a few out there that's high school seniors that have passed the SAT. So what we can do for you is send you to Mississippi, a junior college in Mississippi, and you come back to us in 2 years to catch some balls.
Okay.
So I kind of said, okay, but I knew I didn't want to go to Mississippi because this was in 1989, and that was that year that movie Mississippi Burning came out.
Oh.
And that movie told a lot about that state.
Right.
But ironically, what I've come to learn about Florida is that Florida was worse. So that's another topic. But anyway, he ended up telling me that they couldn't do nothing for me. So I go back home. I go back to school. I run into my high school coach, Coach Smith. He was actually a grad of Cookman, so I think he was very instrumental in that connection happening. So he was like, well, I'm gonna keep trying. About a week passed, I had gotten some more information. But this one school had actually replied, gave me a response. And I was sharing that with Coach, and Coach was like, don't worry about it. Tuskegee University, they're interested in you and they're sending you your scholarship. It's on the way. And I was like, yes. But he explained, I need to pass the SAT. If I don't pass the SAT, I would be what they was calling back then a Proposition 48 student. I mean, I was ineligible, academically ineligible until I meet that 700 on the SAT. So, but I didn't. I still didn't meet it. My mom went and brought me tutoring, and I got it up close, but I couldn't get 700. So I went in academically uneligible to play sports, but got into the university.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha. Oh, let me go take a look at something. I'm just going to come in. Oh, okay. I see James on here saying Colbert, James Pugh, and then
What's up, Jit? Got boy.
Misha.
That's my niece.
Say, oh. Okay, so with that being said, how did computer software programming come in? Was it a passion, opportunity, or both?
Well, it wasn't a passion. I don't know. I mean, if you go back to my transcript, man, this is some powerful stuff right here. I only made one F on my report card. Even though I had a 2.0, I only made one F.
Okay.
And you would not believe that one F came in Intro to Computers. I got receipts, man. I'm coming with receipts. There it is. See that F? That's the only F
that you ever had.
that I ever made on my report card.
And it was a computer, intro to computer.
Yep.
Go figure.
I don't know. I have no clue.
So you ain't even really giving it.
No, computers was something that I knew did not want to do because of that. Yeah. And it's so, I mean, when I signed to go to Tuskegee, nobody ever asked me, well, I can't say nobody, I was only asked one time, what is it I wanted to do? And Only thing I knew of from a college degree thing, college stuff was, you could do business
Mhm.
and you had teachers and you had a PE coach. I didn't know anything else about nothing else. So when I was asked that question, I just said maybe business or PE. That's all I knew. I didn't know about the other stuff
Mhm.
until I went to Tuskegee. That's when I found out about other things. But that Tuskegee experience, I still didn't want to do computers because they had a computer science degree, and you had to take what's that calculus?
Calculated.
Yeah, calculus. You had to take all of that, and I wasn't prepared for that, so
Mhm.
that was not an option. I ended up in well by default since I didn't declare a major going into Tuskegee.
Mhm.
They had me in hospitality management.
Hospitality management.
That's I mean that's a pretty good career.
That's a pretty good
Yeah,
career.
it's pretty good. I just couldn't see myself doing it.
Okay.
I couldn't see myself doing it. So I got another problem. This book, I got a hook to this book right here. And this is the curriculum. And I just kind of scanned this book right here.
Okay.
And I remember my brother, this is the curriculum. My brother at the time, he was in feds, and I wrote him a letter and
Mhm.
I sent him and some of the stuff that was in here trying to figure out what is it that I want to do.
Okay. So it's
And
like a for Tuskegee
yeah,
University.
for
So
Tuskegee, it's just the
curriculum. Okay.
curriculum. It shows all the
You still
majors.
got that. That's cool.
Yeah, shows all the majors. And I sent them a letter. I said, man, I don't know what to do because when I went in this book, I did not like reading was not a strong thing of mine. So I kind of scanned this.
Mhm.
It was like, man, they got all this arts and sciences, and I don't know what I want to do. I know I don't want to do this what I'm in, hospitality management. So his response back to me was just get your skill, learn how to do something.
Mhm.
So that took me a little deeper into this book. And I ended up in construction science and management.
Construction
Science and management.
management.
That does not relate to computers at all. Totally
Don't
different
sound like
career.
it.
Now, but these first two courses I took, CSM 100, 101, and 102,
Mhm.
that 101, we had to design our buildings, not design the right blueprints. That was designing blueprints by hand on this big pieces of paper.
Okay.
But the 102 version of it, we had to do that on a computer.
Oh.
So now this is I didn't get into this program until my second year. So now I'm
You're a
on
sophomore.
my sophomore year. Now I'm on the football team. I had some issues that summer. I had to go to summer school, but one thing I told myself is that I need to really focus on school. I can't keep trying to, keep being ineligible. So I
Mhm.
kind of took a step back from sports. Didn't play the position I wanted to play. I just said, I'm going to play defense, and I would um I would leave practice. Someday I would go to practice just to go to the lab, just to try to get a, a leg up on this computer course I had to take the next semester
Okay.
because I was afraid of it. It was like something totally different. But I had got so good at that AutoCAD. It was AutoCAD software till I was helping the architects with some of their very refined, very what I'm saying. Architect drawings were very, what am I trying to say? Word that I'm trying to use.
Oh.
It was
It's very
it was a
complex.
little more in depth. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying? It was
in
more in
there, yeah.
depth. Yeah, it was more finer stuff you had to do for architect.
Mhm.
So I had got so good with that software that I was showing them how to do some stuff. Right.
Mhm.
Um, when I finally took the course, I mean, I excelled. I had just had so much fun messing with that computer. But at the time, I knew I wasn't contributing on the football team at all. This just was it was like I ain't gonna say a wasted year, but it was.
A
It,
waste of you. I was like, you
yeah,
not doing
I
it.
wasn't doing nothing with football team. I was just there. So um, after that year, after my second year at Tuskegee, um, I kind of felt I wasn't gonna come back, but the program made it official. I received my letter saying they were not going to renew my scholarship. So now Tuskegee is over, and I got to do something else. I tried to get into FAMU, but yet they went back on this.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? So that was a no-no. I couldn't get into no institution with that. So I had to go to Polk Community College.
so you came back home.
I came back home.
Okay.
I went to Polk Community College for a year. I went to both summers in a full year, and I got 60 credit hours. And at the time, I said, I'm going to FAMU. Um, I'm looking to take this construction there too. But when I looked at FAMU version of this book, their construction had it was like coupled with the engineering
But
program.
not the family that you hated.
I hated it.
That one.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. I love it now.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you why I love it now. I'm gonna tell you why I love it. Hold on, let me get to why I love FAMU now. Now, Tuskegee was a great, great institution. I think I learned so much from Tuskegee. I actually, I used to once tell myself I was a dumb athlete, but I was an athlete that didn't apply myself to schoolwork. And for some reason, I just felt I couldn't do it. But until I got to Tuskegee, man, I mean, cool guys that took education serious. You know what I'm saying? And that was like, whoa, this one guy, I remember him, man. His name was Rudy DeVoe. Rest in peace, Capois. We lost Rudy about a year or two ago, but he was from Cocoa Beach, and he was by far the coolest. No, I'm saying Rudy DeVoe. Sorry, Dr. Rudy DeVoe. He was by far the coolest cat that I've ever met that took education serious. You know what I'm saying? So that stuff right helped me. And I had another guy, he came in with me. He was from California. Um, I had a math class, and this math teacher would give us bonuses for solving some of the most challenging questions in our math homework. And those questions normally were questions with a fraction, a decimal, or a negative number in it. If you look at the assignment and pull those out, those are going to be the questions that the students had problems with. Okay. So this guy from California, he was like a Rhodes Scholar. They say he had maxed out the math part of the SAT. So I would take my math book to him and have him help me solve those hard problems. Okay. And I realized he was teaching me stuff. I was able to go back to class and regurgitate that on the board in front of the class to get those bonus points. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So I knew I could do this stuff because of what he was teaching me, and I was inspired by Rudy. So all of that just came together, and it worked for the best. And I picked that up at Tuskegee. That's why I said it was a great institution because of those. Okay. Yeah. And so we was on something else. How I you was now you Polk State. Now I'm at Polk. I finished up Polk. I gets into FAMU with the because I graduated Polk. Well, I didn't quite graduate. I got the 60 credit hours that I needed to transfer without them going on my high school stuff. Yeah. So when I gets in, I had an option: construction or computers. The construction path was tied to the engineering. They had all that calculus stuff. I didn't want that. The computers, all the math I needed was pre-calculus. And plus, I had two older cousins that graduated out of that program, Willie Glover and my cousin Kevin Glover, the basketball player. They both graduated out of that CIS. And their younger brother, Ben, we was at Polk together. He was going into that program. So I said, you know what? I'm going to do this too. So all of us in here. So all of us, had that in common. So I get the FAMU, not knowing what I wanted to do. Excuse me. Not knowing what computers would do for me until I got my first class schedule. And I looked at this class schedule, and at the time, what this movie, New Jack City. Oh, that's my favorite movie. It's your favorite movie. You're gonna know. You're gonna know these scenes here. There were two scenes in that movie that helped me decide what I wanted to do with my life. Two scenes from that New Jack City movie. The first one was what's the guy that song? The red guy. Don't wake me, I'm dreaming. Christopher Williams.
Christopher Williams. Christopher Williams.
Okay, this first season with Christopher
So he was
Williams.
the brain, you know.
He was the brains, right? They got okay. Now you know where I'm going. You know where I'm going. So they goes get him from the bank, right? And they was in like a little meeting setting, and somebody asked him, "What is he doing, coming from this top dollar job at the bank to hang with the thugs and stuff?" And he kept it simple, man. It's basic mathematics. I would rather leave a $800 a week job at the bank to come down here and make $8,000 a week.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that was like fascinating right there. $800, $8,000 a week doing something in computers. What is it? So the next scene was when he got Chris Rock that promotion. Pookie, when he brought Pookie for that promotion. Right. When they came, they was in the computer room, and Chris Rock, he gonna say anything. He's like, "Can I get one of those jobs behind the computer?" Now here's the fact. Now here's what told the story right here. G Money responded, "Can you program Pascal?" Now, when I got my curriculum, my first programming course was
and you knew what he was talking about. We wouldn't know what he was talking about. I didn't know what he was talking about.
I didn't know what Pascal was, but I related the two. So now my mind is like, okay, so this pretty cat from the bank was making $800 a week doing Pascal. That's what I want to do. And I told myself, from that day, I've yet to take a course at FAMU, but when I got my class schedule with Pascal on that, I said, I'm going to be a programmer.
Okay.
That's what's going. I want to be a programmer just because of that $800 a week.
The 8,000.
I had not see. We hadn't probably talked about that, but I had already did $8,000 a week, and that was risky.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? $800 a week safe is much better than the $8,000 a week risky. To me, it was in 1992. It was in 1992 when I enrolled as family. So that's what made me want to become a programmer.
Cool. Cool. So, like, did you find that career shift? Did you feel like you belong, like, in that space? Because you don't really, it's not a lot of us. I don't know. I guess it maybe is, but I don't think it is. That's into computer programming.
I haven't worked with. I've had this is my 30th year in this industry, and I only been on 3 teams where there's another African American male.
Really?
What? In 30 years?
30 years.
Oh my gosh.
We're out there, but we're way outnumbered. Way outnumbered.
Gotcha. So, like, what was like the experience? So, what you ended up doing at FAMU, and what happened? Did you end up?
At first,
you took the computer class. You enrolled in the computer class.
I started as Pascal. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. This first week in that program, I honestly thought I was making the worst mistake ever because I couldn't get it. I could not understand it. It was something different. You know what I'm saying? Trying to write a program. I didn't have that mindset for it. But it all changed after I started asking questions. See, I was a guy that wanted to sit in the back of the class and really hoping that it would just come to me. Even by me just sitting in the lab trying to do it, it just did not come to me because programming computers was different from using AutoCAD software. It's totally different. I can use this software and figure this out, but I can't program this software until I started asking questions. And when I started asking the questions, the light bulb clicked. And it's like, oh, now I see. And once I put myself in that mode, it became easier. It became fun, and it was something I just could not look forward to doing as a career.
Okay. Oh.
Yep.
So did you have your own computers or did you use computers from
Well, at FAMU at the time, they had a computer lab,
mhm,
and their primary programming language there at the time was COBOL, and that was what we'll call a mainframe based programming language,
mhm.
where you only have what we call like a dummy terminal green screen, and you write all the code and it kind of store it back on a big giant computer somewhere, like a
Okay.
mainframe.
Mhm.
So we didn't need our own computer to do that type of programming, but I did eventually get one that definitely helped me out later on.
Okay. Oh, cool. Like in that career, like because there isn't a lot of us,
Mhm.
right? So did people like view you different, like because you're in computers, like you're a nerd, like because we don't really know a lot of people that's in computer software. So did that like change how people viewed you?
Well, I think when people look at me and see me,
Mm,
they might gravitate to one idea of what type of career I might have, and then when I tell them, it's like they have it's like a personality shift. It's like they're more um like, oh wow, like they looking up to me a little bit more than they were prior to me letting them know I'm a software developer. It's like, oh wow, wouldn't have never thought it, type of
mm,
um that's how I view them sometimes, especially when I'm playing golf, because you out there, you meet people. When I travel to different states, that conversation always come up. So Bob, what do you do?
mm,
That kind of stuff always come up. And then when I tell them, it's like they're shocked, because they're looking at me first with the gold tooth, and then they realize I'm a software developer. They're not putting that stuff together and they
mm.
guessed it. So that's what I get like a sense of, oh wow, when I let people know what I do. I mean, even when I walk around the neighborhood and people say, "Man, you're on the golf course all the time. Do you have a job? Do you work?" This is when I played golf all the time a few years back,
Oh,
and I would tell them, "Say, yeah, man. So what do you do?" A software developer. I mean, I get a mixed bag of results. Some people tell me, "Oh, you were kind of smart when we was in high school," and I've had a couple of people tell me, "Say, I think you were smart in high school. How you managed to do that?" So it's a mixed bag of results when I get when I tell people, especially if I know them.
okay. Gotcha, gotcha. So do you like develop for companies or like what is your like what are you developing? I don't understand it. I don't know nothing
Yeah,
about it. So
when
like in layman's terms, like are you developing for a companies or what are you and what is on the stuff that's a silly question, but it's a smart question because when you don't know, you don't know.
right.
Software development. What are you developing? What is it?
Well, you can look at it
It's
in
like the
multiple
lame, it's the
ways.
lamest of terms you can get me to get me
Okay.
to understand.
Okay. Well, you right now you're recording this through Facebook.
Okay.
Facebook is a piece of software that was developed,
Okay.
right? So that's an app that you would use on your phone.
Mm,
That app was built using some software, and a software developer would build that app for you to use on your phone. Now you probably have an office job where you might have to go to work and open up an application to type
sign
some stuff in.
in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all of that
That's
stuff is
software.
software that somebody built that you would have to use. There's a variety of scales of it. You could take it down to something small as a little bitty app, or you could take it to as large as a video game.
Okay.
You know, so there's levels to it, but that is basically what software is.
Okay. Cool. So you did mention, since you mentioned it, I want to remember, you mentioned about the gold too. Was there ever, do you ever think about removing it? Most people kind of remove them now because they're like,
Yeah,
that was so back in the day when everybody had the gold
yeah.
teeth. Do you ever think about
I do.
taking it
I
and
do.
off?
I do. I
Like in the
do.
job or whatever? Like, do you think people look at you differently because of the gold
You
tooth?
know, you know what? Since you asked, this was, I'm gonna take us back to FAMU. Since you asked that question, um, FAMU, going into my senior year or my last year of FAMU is the
Mhm.
time when most people, most of us, most of my colleagues, or most graduates try to go get an intern, right?
Mhm.
An internship for that summer.
Mhm.
Okay, now I had to work really, really hard with my program at efforts just to acquire myself an internship going into my senior year because that will help you land your job, right? So I had two suits, I had a black one and a blue suit. So I'm getting dressed up, going to get on everybody's in an intern list. I'm interning with these people. I'm not getting no responses. And all of my colleagues, people that I didn't help, right there,
Yeah, you done here.
yeah,
Uh,
they're coming back. Oh man, I'm going to Chicago, I'm going to In and Out. They going all these different places. They're getting these internships, and I'm getting nothing, not one single call. Right. So I have one interview left, and I remember this day, man. Sometimes when I tell this story, I used to cry. Ain't gonna lie, because it was like I didn't hit the rock bottom, but I goes to the computer lab, not the computer lab, the career placement center.
mhm.
I cannot think of this guy name, but he was a doctor and he was over the career placement center.
Mhm.
I goes to him and I say, man, I didn't work real hard this year, just to build my development skills up, and I really want to get an intern this year, but I'm not getting no love. Everybody got one. Can you give me some pointers, some help, whatever, to help me get an internship?
Mhm.
This guy looked at me. He said, you go remove your gold tooth and then you come back and talk to me. I will help you.
Oh,
I was like,
Wow.
wow, wow. Oh man, I didn't know what to say. But I knew at the time I was not for the remove my gold tooth. Not then. Because I still liked it at that point. So I gets on the phone. I calls my mom. I said, Mom, I don't really know if this intern thing gonna get work. It's gonna work out for me. I don't know. And I'm like, I was really sad. I was really down. This is the moment that I always cry. I remember this day. I'm just telling them because I wanted this intern really bad. And I said, oh, something just jumped on my mind and said, Dwan, you can get you a computer. You're gonna get a job. It just jumped on my mind.
Mhm.
And I told my mom that. I said, Mom, I said, man, if I get me a computer, I'm gonna get me a job. Get this internship. Forget it. That's just my whole attitude. I went from being down to okay, I got a plan, I got an idea. I need to get me a computer. I just mentioned that to my mom.
Mhm.
I didn't say, Mom, go buy me a computer. I didn't say, Mom, none of that. I said, I need to get me a computer. So now I'm talking to people throughout CIS department, seeing if they know of something, know of somebody who got to use computers, something that I could get my hands on to. And about 4 or 5 days later, somebody knocking at the door. UPS and the brand new Packard Bell 386 Windows 3.1 or whatever. It was way back in 1995. A brand new computer. My mom had went and bought me a brand new computer, and I didn't even know. She didn't even tell me. She just went and got this computer and had it shipped to me. And I was like, yes. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yes, this is it right here. And so what I did, I went to the computer lab at Family Computer Lab. There was a guy there named Tony. He had told me, said, if you get a computer, you come back and I'm gonna give you this software. So when I got the computer, I said, I got my computer. He said, what you need is 22 of those little 3.5 discs to copy the software over. So I went and got the disc. He showed me how to copy it all onto the disc. I finished that up, went home, installed the whole complete Microsoft Office product, Microsoft Office on my computer. Only thing I was looking for was one program in there, and it was Microsoft Access. I just wanted to play around with that. So what I did, I took an example from my database course. It was database is nothing but the storage of all the data that a program sees. You know, okay, so I recreate all my database tables and I put forms on top to input because it was a book, it was an online bookstore. So I pretty much built a bookstore using Microsoft Access. And I took the tables from the example we had in my database course. So when I did all of this, I got a functional online bookstore working. And I most of the critical details of that, I put it on my resume. Along with the summer before that, I had that hot dog business. I don't know if you remember that. You remember the hot dog business? No? Had a hot dog cart. Had a hot dog cart one summer. Um, and I also worked at my brother's clothing store he had in Haines City that same summer. And I put that application that I had built on my own on that resume. And I sent it out to maybe about 37 or so companies right there in Tallahassee that was looking for anything IT related. From that campaign, I got 3 responses. One of them was from a state of Florida position. They told me off top, you don't have a degree. The next one was from like a Microsoft Office Learning Center where they trained, they mainly had a contract with the state of Florida where they educated a lot of their new employees on the Microsoft Office products. Okay, and then when I went there, they was looking for just a little database entry job, and the dude said, "Man, your vision is just way too far for this position." But he invited me back to take a few classes to see if I want to become a teacher, and that just did not fit my personality, so I kind of declined that. But the third one was for they was actually looking for a Microsoft Access developer. It was for health HMO Health Plan Southeast there in Tallahassee, Florida. I went and interviewed. Now, I was competing with people that had degrees, that had experience in all of this. And what intrigued them guys the most was the fact that I took the initiative to build that database on my own without being rewarded for it with pay. You know, people don't do that. You know, say we have yet to receive a resume where somebody did this. You know, but they went and done some of their own and put it on resume. So that stood out. And to me, that was a form of initiative. I tell people all the time, I think that having initiative is always a good thing. Because I think that's what got me saw. Now, that's not what got me hired. It got me in. All right. So I went and interviewed with them. And one thing I didn't know at the time was that I had a teacher named Dr. Hummer. He taught me advanced COBOL, and the president of that company, IT department, they both went to Florida State together to receive their IT master. There was an adoption program at Florida State, so they knew each other. So they gives my resume, they calls Dr. Hummer. I had Dr. Hummer for the advanced COBOL 2 course, and I asked a lot of questions. I even had somebody said, man, you need to stop asking Dr. Hummer all those questions. Ask all those questions because you're gonna get on his backside, you know. So I remember one day I was on the 3rd floor in the CIS department. I saw Dr. Hummer, so I go in behind, and I was like, Dr. Hummer, man, I ask a lot of questions in your class because that's something that I'm trying to learn. I hope I don't be offending you by asking all these questions. And he sat back and said, Mr. Colbert, I embrace you asking questions. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you do, don't stop. You keep asking questions. Now, I told you the president of the IT shop at Health Plan Southeast and Dr. Harmon, they got their doctor together at Florida State, so they knew each other. So they calls Dr. Harmon and say, hey, we got one of your students out here who's looking for a job. His name is Dwan Colbert. Now, I didn't get this information till after I resigned from Health Plan Southeast. They said when they called Dr. Hummer, inquiring about me, the only things he told them was, you will not go wrong for hiring that kid, even though he don't have a degree. So they called me back out for another interview. Now, that application I built on my own, I had one problem with it. I didn't put it on the resume, but I knew of the problem. And it was a database theory problem, which was good. I knew my database theory really, really, really well. And I explained it to the existing developer, the whole problem. And the manager was behind me and said, I'm going to make my decision today. And I got the job.
Wow.
I got that job. I had no degree. I was competing with people with degrees, with experience, and all of that. But I got that job. Now, I got that job to help a guy. I was going to be like his helper.
Right.
We was there for about a month. He had a problem that he's been looking at for quite some time. And what he was trying to do, I had did it in my little sample database.
Okay.
So when I hear them talking about this, what they're trying to do, what he was trying to do was automate a select statement field of form. You want to come to the form and be able to select any piece of content and have that stuff returned from the database. They couldn't make that be dynamic, not automatic, but dynamic, where you could put anything in there. But I had figured it out. So when I showed them how to do it, and it was, I only been here for a month. It was a little piece of code. I didn't have to write a lot. And he was the manager. The manager was like, "Man, we've been trying to figure this out for months. This guy here came and just did it just like that." You might not believe this, but within a week, that guy, he had quit.
What?
The other lead developer, he had quit. And so when he quit, I remember we was down in Miami at a family reunion. I was with Charlotte family at a family reunion, and I was nervous because I said, "Man, this dude been quit. I'm being all by myself." And my at the time, mother was saying, "You got this. You got it. You can do it." And believe it or not, they did not hire nobody else until I resigned. Now I was hired to help the guy. He quit within a month. They did not hire nobody else until I resigned. And when I resigned, they went and hired two people. And you know where they went and got them from? Well, FAMU. FAMU. They went and got them from FAMU. And I extended my stay because I knew both of them, just to train them and help them, understand the stuff that I was doing. Because I resigned to go to IBM. Yep.
You had the IBM?
That was my first job after I graduated. I was at IBM.
Okay.
I wasn't playing, man. I was serious about that stuff, man.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you got some comments. Everybody's like favor and that's Kim was like she loved this session. This is very inspirational. Kim Collins.
What's up, Songbird?
Neil on here, Camille, Jeremy Russell, Cowboy. Jimmy Downer, so you his college roommate.
That's my roommate. Yep, that's my roommate. Yep. Meridian was on Meridian.
Wow, okay. So we're gonna take a break and we're gonna go to the Globo.
Oh.
Go back to the Globo. So we move on to the next part.
I feel like Bob Barker right now, Okay, what color did I do the last?
You did yellow.
Yellow. Okay, let's go with a little blue.
Let's go with blue.
Okay. Who has been your biggest inspiration and why? Oh man, that's easy.
Okay.
I'm gonna be straight up, man. My brother Hope, man, that's
Oh,
he has
that's a big
been my biggest,
inspiration.
my largest, and he will forever be, man, because I've learned so much from him.
Mm,
And you remember that letter I told you I wrote when I was in
when
college?
he was in the Fed.
Yeah, when he was
Yeah.
in Fed, when my brother responded, I I told you I pulled out two things. Learn how to do something, get a skill. The rest of that stuff he was saying, you couldn't map it out. He probably didn't have a third grade education. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But he knew stuff. He knew stuff about life. He knew stuff. Even when I graduated college, he had the whole understanding. So you can't stop right there, little bro. You got to keep going.
Mhm.
So he always gave me inspirational words. Even when I go see him right now, I just like to sit and talk to him and how he, talk about things that help him
Mhm.
help him succeed in what he do. Like I said, my brother probably didn't have a third grade education when he graduated, but now he has a college degree. He could literally. I called and just tell him symptoms on my AC. He knew exactly what's going on with it. He can do anything in a house.
Mhm.
And when he puts himself into a situation to learn something, it's like it's a whole nother different. He goes into a trance, because he enjoys learning new stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's like I want to be everything. I want to be everything he is.
It's almost like the feds taught these guys that
Wow.
way.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm
and like
saying?
even like yeah, because I was like the people that
You
I've
can't go
been
there with the
because
federal
even like last week, when I was had
thing.
James King on,
Yeah.
he went to the feds and
Mhm.
he did so much and learned so much in the feds. It's like they get a whole new mind frame.
No, I'm gonna tell you something. All those kids that um was out there in the streets, most of those guys, man, they could do so much
Already.
because it
And
it
they
takes
get that mentality.
it takes a lot. It takes a lot to man them type of organizations.
It
You know what I'm
does.
saying? Anybody
You
can
gotta
do
you
it.
gotta be on key. You gotta be on point.
Anybody
Yeah.
can do it.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And it takes some form of intelligence to do it too.
Mhm.
So those guys, they probably, didn't, I talk to my brother about this all the time. I mean, he say back in the day, he didn't think there was anything else that he could do. So drugs was what was his out. If he had to start all over right now, he would say, man, don't tell him what he would be because he understands and he knows how to learn. He knows, learning is important. But back then, he didn't care. My brother was in that class he was in all day long. So it just wasn't a priority for him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it wasn't a priority.
Stop it.
Yeah, but like I said, I think I've learned more from
Do
him.
he do he know you feel like that about him?
He probably do because, like I said, I don't know.
You
I
never
don't
told
know.
him?
I never told him, but I come and sit and listen to him, so they got to be mean something.
No, you should tell him.
Yeah,
I should
yeah.
tell him. Okay, you can.
Because you like he's your biggest inspiration. And
Yeah,
like,
man.
and you like he maybe know, but you don't know unless you tell them, then they really, really know. But
Well,
that's
I
awesome,
would have
though.
definitely thought he knew because I mean I want him to be just like him.
You want, oh my God.
He's a yeah.
Yeah.
I'll make sure he know because I take my boys up to see him and you know yeah he's by
Cool.
far that guy
Cool.
to me.
Okay, so we're gonna move on with that state our glow question. So now we're gonna move on to health. Like when you were diagnosed with cancer, like what was your first thought? Like how did that come about? What happened with being diagnosed, of course, with cancer?
Yeah, back in 2022, yeah, I was regular with seeing my primary care and getting my blood works done. back in 2022, um, my results, my results from my lab came back, and it was she told me my PSAs was elevated. You know, I didn't know what that. So she said we're gonna watch it. You know, I didn't know I was in danger. I didn't know nothing. So I was on like a 6 month interval. So I goes again. Um, okay, Mr. Colbert, they're up to 8. It's up to 8. The count is up to 8. Still don't know what that means. I ain't going to do no research or nothing. I'm just listening to what my physician is telling me. Go back on the third time, it's at an 11. So now she's excited. Okay, Mr. Cole, we got to get you to get a biopsy. Okay. So I'm okay. I'm going to biopsy. I don't know what's going on, because I didn't take time to go and research or do nothing, and that's my fault. We listen to doctors, but we also need to take control of our health by learning things. We can help prevent some stuff. So I go to get the biopsy. That was a very uncomfortable procedure.
Yep.
Um, the standard sent, the samples they snatched, they went and sent them out, and it came back that cancer was on both sides, but it was stronger on one than the other. And I'm like, hey, okay. So I go and meet my what is it, the urologist,
Oncologist?
oncologist, one of them ologists.
Okay.
I got two of them. I'm dealing with both of them.
Okay.
I'm dealing with both of them. So he comes and he tells me now how they rate the cancers is on this Gleason scale. Okay, it starts at a 6, 7, 8. It can maybe go up to 9 or something. It go up to 9. I don't think it goes to 10. But he'd say, okay, Dwan, you're at a Gleason 7, but you're at the 4+3 version versus 3+4. When the first number is higher, that means it's an aggressive form of prostate cancer. So my whole concept, did we get it early? Yeah, we got it early because it's not at an 8 or 9. It's not way back there on the line. So I'm thinking, okay, good. So what are my options? You can either take it out or go through some type of radiation or something like that. Yeah, they even have another one where they could put some seeds or something in here and do some stuff. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna get second opinion. Goes up to Gainesville, talks to those guys, and they pretty much saying, okay, your best option is to have it all extracted. You're young, you're like you're good health, so just have it all taken out. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just take it all out. So I goes and schedule my first session was like in May of 24. I go that morning. I went. We're just waiting, just waiting, just waiting, just waiting, waiting. Oh, waiting. Then someone happened to come out and just say, "Well, we think they canceled your surgery." I'm like, "What? We're here all month. They canceled it? Why?" The anesthesiologist looked at my chart the night before and noticed that in my paperwork there was a heart condition in there called Wolf Parkinson White, WPW. Basically, what that is just my heart rhythm. Doo-doo. It has a shortcut that it takes sometimes, and it don't cause no problems. I kind of said, man, I used to run the quarter mile, and I don't think I'm gonna put that kind of stress on my body ever again. So I wasn't worried about getting that remediated. So, but what the cardiologist was like, no, no, the anesthesiologist was like, no, we need to get you to go see a cardiologist so they could possibly monitor that for 4 weeks. So I had to wear a monitor for 4 weeks to see what damages or what that looks like when that shortcutted is being taken,
Mm-hmm.
right? So some of the things that you would feel are like fluttering in your chest or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel it. Only time I felt that is when I actually put that heart monitor on. So
Oh,
when I felt it, I had to just hit a button to let them know that I'm having that sensation. So after the 4 weeks, the cardiologist said, "Oh, I don't see a problem with this." So
you
they
got clear.
signed off. Yeah, they cleared for me with surgery. I had the surgery July 17th of last year,
Almost a little over a
a
year.
little over a year. And when the doctor was in there, he noticed that my lymph nodes looked at funny. Those pelvic lymph nodes, they looked at funny. So he extracted all the 18 of them out, sent those for testing. When it came back, the cancer had got out, stage 4.
Hmm.
This is now when I'm like terrified. I'm crying almost nightly. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking I'm dying, you know, because stage 4, that's not
Right.
a light cancer. So it gets it all out. About a month after that, I go and have another blood test, and it still shows traces of cancer in my blood test. PSA still high. My niece Misha, she works around this all the time, and she was like, "Unc, I think they have you going too early." Because at that point now they're saying you're gonna need radiation, possible chemo,
Mm-hmm.
because it's probably still somewhere in your body, maybe
That's
even
the
your
matrix
bones.
that was on here. Oh,
Yes,
okay.
maybe it's in your bones, it's in your blood, and it went somewhere else. So now I'm really terrified. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? I'm scared. I got a son for the graduate, my daughter for graduate. Am I gonna be around here to see it? So they scheduled for me to have an MRI. I had that done, and when the results came back from there, like it was the best news I ever had. There's no traces of this cancer anywhere
Praise
in my
God.
body, and I was like, "Thank you,
Oh my
Jesus."
God.
Oh my goodness, boy, that was like some good news. And then I went and took some subsequent another lab work, and and it came back below 0.05, and
Mm.
that's undetectable. So PSAs is good. Is didn't spread anywhere outside of the lymph nodes and my
Mm-hmm.
prostate, so they cleared me up really well. And now I'm just doing a hormonal treatment,
Mm-hmm.
and that is it's supposed to be a lifetime thing, but we're gonna measure this out for 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
and that consists of I take a shot every quarter
Mm-hmm.
to keep my testosterone down. And then there's like I take like 4, 5, 6, 7 pills a day, um, to as part of this hormonal treatment.
Mm.
Yep,
God.
and
Okay.
it's bad. I can't take it. I have to take it 2 hours after I eat, and then I can't eat for another hour.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I do this all in the morning. I take four. Well, actually, I think I lied a little bit there. Well, actually, it's 4, 5, 6, 7. There's only 7 pills a day for the hormonal treatment.
That's
But
a lot.
yeah,
Seven
yeah,
pills. I get it. I get it. But you know,
But no.
but God.
yeah.
But God.
Only thing I don't mind eating that medication right now because when I go get that blood work, they tell me they say, "Well, this thing is still undetectable." I'm like,
Jen,
"Okay, I'm
okay,
good."
let's eat some more. Come on,
I'm
let's
gonna
keep it
eat it
going,
until I
right?
can't eat it no more.
Like what kept you strong through surgery and recovery? Like,
Um, you know, the recovery. It was when I had the surgery. After the surgery, I went over to Charlotte. She definitely took really really good care of me. Make sure I was, I had to have the catheter and all of
mm,
that stuff. She made sure all of that was cleaned up. You know, she did really really well. I I owe her a lot for that. So I think she was very, very supportive. I mean, even on the moments when I'm like down, boo crying, she was always there to, to give me encouraging words to try and keep my spirits up. Don't always, looking at the negative, showing me that there is positive to this as well. So she was pretty definitely a go-to person for that.
Gotcha. Awesome. Yes, absolutely awesome. What's one thing you wish all men knew about early detection?
It'll save your life, man. It'll definitely it'll help it will help you. Like my situation, had I it's more than early detection, it's also getting information, because if I had knew what I know now about prostate cancer when my physician told me my PSAs was elevated to a 5. At that point, I should have sought additional information.
And
Seeing
ask more questions.
yes,
Like, 'cause
yes, yes,
like if you don't know, don't
yes.
act like it just let it go. Like
Right.
ask questions.
Ask questions. Yep. Ask questions. And I mean, it went from a 5 to an 8 to an 11. And then when I go get surgery, I'm stage 4. What if I would have at 4, at 5, went and saw some other specialist that could have possibly gave me an MRI or even a biopsy at that time? Would I have caught it before it spread it? I would possibly could have still had my lymph nodes if I would have, been more aware. So, it's good that you're getting tested early, but know something about the information that's being told you, because I didn't know what that meant. I'm just listening to them.
I feel like we get kind of afraid to ask questions, like when they telling us something we don't understand. We don't want people to know we don't understand. Like, no, listen.
Yeah, like we know all
Yeah,
that.
like
We know,
like,
but we don't. We don't know.
don't know nothing.
Ask the question because I definitely didn't know, and I fought myself because my dad had prostate issues, and his brother had prostate issues. I should have been more knowledgeable of that disease than I was when I was told that I had. But at that time I didn't know. I did not know, but I know now. I mean, I was listening to Ricky Smiley's show, and I think one day a week he have a doctor.
Dr. Michael, I listened to him too.
Yeah, and I heard him one day said, in people of color, African American men, preferably, if your PSAs is like a 2, you go figure out why. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
And see, I waited till 11,
Yeah.
and knowing my dad and uncle experienced that, so it's good that you have some information about it. Your doctors, they can help you, but they also are there to make money when you get sick.
Right.
So they might not be there all the time to help you
In your best interest.
exactly. So it's best that we also know some stuff.
Yeah. And what we don't know, we need to say we don't
Ask.
know
Yep.
and find out,
Yep. Yep. I agree.
Most definitely. That's very powerful. It's a very, very powerful testimony. So definitely, guys, like go get the checkups,
Go get it.
go get it, stay on point, and things like that. We're gonna take a break because we're gonna go into something else right now. We're gonna go to the Globo.
Okay, what I done? Blue,
Yeah,
and
yellow,
blue,
and
yellow.
blue.
What I got next? And we got my 3 colors, right? Okay,
Yeah,
so
we
that's
got
purple.
pink and we got pink and
That's pink. So I'm gonna go
maybe
with
it's a
pink.
green looking color, maybe.
Pink. And pink used to be a masculine color.
It used to be masculine.
Yeah.
So when did that become feminine?
I don't know. I did somewhere else, like one of them old Chinese tales that pink was once a masculine color. Okay, let me see. Drum roll. Okay. Oh, this is a nice one. Mel will give you $25 just for showing up. Wow. Oh.
I will.
Okay, no, okay, seriously. Okay, when do you feel the most confident in yourself? Hmm. When do you feel the most confident in yourself? I mean, I'm a very um how can I say this? I'm a very self-aware person, right?
Mhm.
I know, I mean, I know people always say you shouldn't try to sell yourself short on nothing, but I mean, if I can't do something, I'm gonna be honest with myself and say I can't do it. But to answer your question, I think I mean, I always have the utmost confidence in myself and anything I try. Even if I know I can't do well in it, I'm gonna, be confident in it.
Mhm.
Um, but I feel I'm always at that point, at that peak, at that point, rather,
Okay.
where I'm confident. But others might tell a different story.
Okay. So you pretty much, that's the answer to the question.
Yeah,
You're
I
pretty
try
much
to stick.
confident person.
I try to be a vulnerable. I want to be confident. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. If you could speak to 18-year-old Dwan, what would you say?
If I could speak to 18-year-old Dwan, what would I tell that guy?
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's so much I could have gone back to tell him. But the most probably listen to your mom a little bit more, man. Because I mean, yeah, yeah, I mean, if you would have said maybe a 15-year-old or maybe something like that, it definitely would have been, you know, get serious about education because, a lot of people, even a lot of people don't use it, but it would have made things a little bit more easier for me if I would have just took that been a little more serious, took that serious,
Education.
Yeah, education because
In high school,
in high
like
school,
take,
yeah,
put more
early
into
on
it.
because
So that 2 point, whatever that was in that paper over there, like,
2.1,
nobody take you. Nobody wanted to.
nobody wanted me, and it was, I mean, because the education would have laid a better foundation for a lot of things that was harder or was a little more challenging for me later on in life. So I definitely would tell that guy, take your books home, man. Don't just leave them in your locker. I would have, you know, yeah,
A little bit
education,
more
man.
focus
Yeah, a
on that
little bit
and
more
not on
focus.
the running the streets and having
Yeah,
a good time. You would have
absolutely,
put a little more over
absolutely,
here than over
without a doubt. Yeah, I'm telling you, because that other stuff, it literally mounted out to nothing.
there.
Nothing. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
So next question, we're actually wrapping up here, guys. It's been awesome. This has been absolutely amazing to us. I'm
Okay,
going to tell you
cool.
that right now. But what is the biggest truth about life you learned from your hardest season? So what's the biggest truth about life you've learned from your hardest season?
The biggest truth.
What's the hardest season? Let's get that. What's the
My
hardest
hardest
season?
season had to be for me had to be dealing with this cancer, man. That
Okay,
was that was the hardest
that's the
moments. I
hardest of
don't
your
think I
life.
ever cried as much consecutively in days than I did during that moment. So with that, I'm gonna say, man, just keep faith.
Mm,
Keep faith. Keep keep striving for better days. Don't look back. Just keep faith and keep striving. Uh, yeah, That's the best I can come with that one. Yeah, that was a
Okay.
good question.
Yeah, that was a good answer. Do you believe you can have it all? Career, success, love, and personal peace, or is something always sacrificed? So I'll repeat the question. Do you believe you can have it all? Career success, love, and personal peace, or is something always sacrificed?
Oh man.
You drinking it like that's alcohol.
I thought I needed me a shot for that one, you know.
It's
It's apple juice. It's apple juice. Okay, is it you asking me, do I believe that it's possible
Do,
to
do you believe you can
have it all? And no, it's like
That
you have
means career success,
real success,
love,
love,
and personal peace.
personal peace. Yeah.
Or is something always sacrificed?
Now it all depends on how you set that up. You
Mhm,
know what I'm saying? Now, career success, of course, you can have that. Love. Now, if I'm just out here trying to love myself,
mhm. Uh,
and what's the other one?
personal peace.
A personal
All
peace.
at the same time.
Right.
Not having it all.
This is what I'm saying.
Everything.
Of course. But see, I'm thinking my career success.
Mhm.
Love, if I'm loving on myself, I guarantee I'm gonna have personal
That's
peace.
the same thing, loving on yourself now. You know we're talking about love now because that's gonna be a little bit more
I know.
complicated. It's a bit complicated. That's
Let me
much.
get some more of this. Hold on. I'm trying to throw you a curveball right now.
Uh-huh.
'Cause, do I think it's possible? Yes, of course it's possible. But I'm thinking that many people have done it.
Okay.
Many people have done it because there are a lot of people in our eyes that appear to be successful,
Mhm,
right? And they appear to be in love,
mhm.
and they appear to be peace. I mean, it seems like I've seen
That's
it
a powerful word. Appear.
appear.
That's a powerful word.
That's all I can tell you. Is appear. You asking me, have I done it?
No, not necessarily. I'm just asking, like, do you think that you have to sacrifice something all the time? You know how we can have it all. I want to have it all, but am I going to have to sacrifice something?
Yes, I think it is. It's doable. I think it is doable. It's just gonna have to require communication with the person that you're trying to love to ensure that you all on the same boat with what this quote unquote success
Rowing in the
means.
same direction.
Yes, yes, because success gonna have to mean the same thing to both of you guys,
Uh-huh.
right? And there's something else in peace. Oh my
Personal
goodness.
peace.
Personal.
Now that's powerful
Now,
right there. Personal peace.
when you say personal peace, or you mean that because I could be peaceful within my own self, but yet still have to deal with wars and battles and trials and tribulations. But me, myself, I could have all the peace in the world, but still have to deal with things
And
that,
that's life, though. I mean,
yeah,
we're not isolated
yeah,
to where we don't have to deal with life,
yeah.
circumstances, things that are going on. But when you get personal peace, to me, I would say like you are very just confident, content in yourself, and you know who you are, you know what you want, and you not once you really get real peace, I do believe that you're not gonna allow anybody or nothing to interrupt that.
That's a stoic mindset. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because it's something that when you experience it for real, people always say, I got peace, I'm peace. But
Mhm.
I don't really believe if they really got it because of the way they
Anything could trigger.
anything
Anything
can
could
trigger.
trigger. Yeah. See,
You know what I'm
they don't
saying?
have that true stoic
Any
peace. Yeah.
little thing somebody say or you hear, there you go, you on a rant.
Yeah.
That's not peace.
That's not peace.
You know what I'm saying? That's really not real peace because once you got real peace, not even gonna allow because it's something so great.
Right.
It's something so amazing. Not even gonna allow anybody to come in and even interrupt that or anything
Yeah.
like that. So
That's that stoic piece. I mean, this some mornings I wake up, I love to listen to this stoic this stoic mentality. And everything you just said, it pretty much breaks that down about how it's all a mindset change. How easy are you to be rattled? If you're easy to be rattled, then you're not living in much peace at all. See, that's why I say it's a stoic mindset. You can be faced with so much, but what is it going to do to your peace? Can you control it?
And when you say that, let me ask you this question: What? Because you have to know this. You got to know what triggers you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like for you, this is a question that just came up. What triggers you? Like, do you know what triggers you? Like,
I would take the fifth.
you gonna take the fifth? Okay, that's fair.
You don't want nobody to know.
That is fair.
But they would drive it.
Yeah.
That's one question. That's one question that I think when you asking people like this, one question: if I ever decide to get back into the dating arena, I would not entertain a question when a person say, "What do you like in a person?"
Because they're gonna do that.
They're gonna try to do that.
They're gonna do that. And then it's like when you can't go in there telling. Oh, we could talk about this dating thing. I'm so glad you wrote it down. You cannot go in there telling them what all the next person done did.
Oh yeah,
They did this, they did that, they did that. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna, come on, you have to sometimes you just have to be quiet.
Yeah.
And see how they actually who they are and how they treat you.
Yeah.
Because if you're gonna get in the roadmap, they got the roadmap.
They got it.
But they're not gonna be able to drive on that road too long because it ain't them.
It ain't them.
You understand what I'm saying?
It's a big way.
You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna be able to drive. They're gonna drive for a little while. But sooner or later, they're gonna hit that bump and all hell gonna break loose.
Yep. So that's I don't like entertaining no question. I thought at one point that was cool, but I realized, man, that's gonna get you in so much.
It's gonna get you. It's not good. It's not good. It's not beneficial, and you can't really like tell somebody this is what I like. This is what because they're gonna do that.
Do that.
It's a game.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's really hard out here. I'm telling you, it's hard out here for us single people. So fun. This is fun stuff. Your love of golf. How did you get love of golf?
Oh wow. I first time
I see you all over the place.
Yeah, and you might not realize this, man, but in high school I thought golf was by far the dumbest sport ever created. I'm serious, man. I thought this was by far the dumbest.
It's very boring. It's very
ever created. I had a classmate of mine. His name is Danny Ellis. He was a phenomenal baseball player. He was great. All of a sudden, he quit baseball. So I'm like, Danny, what's up, man? Why did you quit baseball? It's messing up my golf swing. Golf swing? I'm like, dude, come on. But fast forward, Danny graduated high school. We were classmates. He ended up going to, I think, Clemson on a golf scholarship. And man, Danny was on the PGA Tour. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you could have looked at his bio back then. This was when I was in Texas. I literally saw him on the PGA Tour on TV. My classmate Danny Ellis. If you could have picked up the searched out his profile, he never won a PGA event, but he was making $250,000 a year. I'm like, whoa.
wow.
They make money and treat you. They make money and treat him.
I'm serious, but anyway, when I was working with IB. The very first time I picked up a golf club was I had a colleague. He was from California, and he got on my project. So he would come down, and he would invite me to go to the driving range with him. This was probably in '99, and I just could not do it. I couldn't do it. So another colleague of mine, we went to family together, and we ended up at IBM together. Him and some of his buddies was starting to play, and he was kept saying, "Hope, come play, come play, come play." And one day I said, "Okay." When I went out there, I saw that none of us was good. So, he gave me a chance to, okay, so now we all can see who's gonna become the best out of this bunch. So I went and ordered some clubs and we just started playing. But this was during the time, maybe like in 2005, 6. And I wasn't in Texas long after that. That's when we had moved back to Florida, moved to Gainesville. And in 2007, I had got laid off from IBM. And this is when my golf really picked up because I literally said, I'm going to literally take a whole year off. And,
Thank God.
yeah, I took a whole year off. I took a whole year off and I played golf like all the time.
Daily.
Yeah,
Almost daily.
me and my kids, every Friday after school, I would pick them up from school. They was going to Williams Elementary in Gainesville. I would pick them up every Friday, and I had them their own little set of clubs, and we used to go to Ironwood Golf Course, and play 9 holes of golf. Sometimes we would be teeing off in front or behind their principal of their school, and so she would see them out there. It was us. We played 9 holes almost every Friday. Yep.
Oh wow. Okay. So we're gonna wrap because again we're gonna 10 o'clock. We're gonna try to be done. But Miami Dolphins. Where that come from? What's the love of Miami?
Miami Dolphin. Back when I was a football player, my true sport was wide receiver,
Mm-hmm.
and Miami Dolphins had 2 wide receivers. Their both name was Mark.
Okay.
Mark Duper, Mark Clayton, and they had a quarterback named Dan Marino.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness, man! It just was so great together that I just started liking
So
the
you
team.
started being a fan at that point.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So what I'm gonna ask now in the global, pull out like 4 of them.
Okay.
Open them all up. See which one that intrigues you the most. Read
Okay.
it and then
One,
answer it.
2, 3. Let me get another
Yeah.
color.
Just pull out like
You say you had a green one in there? I don't see green.
it's like right there. It's like right there.
Okay.
That's the yeah. That's a different. No, is that
Okay.
the same? I don't know. It's,
That's okay.
it's okay. Yeah. Open them up.
Open them up.
Look them up, read them to yourself,
Okay.
and see which one that intrigues you the most, and then answer
Yeah.
it.
Okay. Oh, this one right here.
Yeah, you read the other
Oh,
one.
okay. You're right. You're right. I know I like that one.
Okay, so
What
we
is
gonna
a big pet
so
peeve?
we're gonna go with that one.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
This
let's
one.
go with that one.
Okay. What is one decision you're most proud of in your life? I'm going to be honest with this world today.
Okay, let's get it. I like
There's
that.
one big decision that I made in my life. And a lot of folks might not believe this, but I once, thought I was a street pharmaceutical distributor, right?
Uh-huh.
So the one decision that I made was to bury 10 kilos of crack cocaine in the ground because I didn't want to sell it anymore.
What the?
So in a sense, that's like me putting $250,000 in the dirt and just letting it sit there. That was the best decision I ever made.
What I said?
It's probably still there.
Oh my
When we get
God.
off of here, tell me what
I didn't want. I'm going to college, and I don't want
Oh my God.
no more.
Selling your own product that belong to
I mean, when my brother left to go to Feds, he asked me if I wanted to become a distributor, and I partaked in it, but I couldn't get rid of all the product.
my Lord. Okay. So what's next for you personally and professionally? What's next for Dwan?
Next, personally, I'm expecting my first grandbaby.
I was about to ask about the grandbaby.
First grandbaby. Triple D Marie. Um, And yeah, she's coming up in next month.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the next personal thing for me. And with that, my daughter is going to. She's accepted a position in Indianapolis with Eli Lilly.
Okay.
And when she has the baby, she will be reporting there probably. Her first day is April, so I'm going to move out there with her
Okay.
and be daddy daycare for a little bit because I work 100% remotely at home,
Mm-hmm.
so I will help her out with that. So
So what are you gonna have your grandbaby call you? What are you gonna be, Papa? You gonna be Granddad?
granddaddy,
Oh, so you're gonna be
I'm
Granddaddy.
gonna be
So
granddaddy.
nobody
That's-
does
I
Granddaddy
know.
anymore. So you going back to
I'm different. Different. Granddaddy.
okay.
Don't give me no paw.
You don't want no Papa, and you don't want none of that kind of stuff, though, right?
Just give me granddaddy.
So if you could leave anything with the audience, the watchers, the viewers today that you want them to remember about what we talked about, what would that be? Like what would be the most important thing that you would want to be remembered by with this conversation that we've had tonight?
Hmm, that's a good question. Um,
I'm full of good questions.
I see. I'm gonna take it back to. I'm gonna take it back to this right here. I know you probably say, "Man, this dude has said so many things about his brother," but I'm gonna take it back to some things that he tells me all the time. He
Mhm.
might not know this, but when he first started his handyman stuff, he would see something online and said he would get so excited about it, and he would put so much energy in trying to learn it. Then when he get it learned, he would can't wait to tell somebody
Mhm.
this type stuff. So I always, that concept right there lead me to this one belief right here,
Mhm.
and it's a proven fact. If your mind could think it, right? If your mind could think it,
Mhm.
and you could believe it,
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
Then you should be able to. No, I ain't gonna say you should be. It's guaranteed that you can achieve it.
Okay.
It's just that
So
simple.
if you can, what's the first?
If your mind can conceive it,
think it,
if you can think it
Think
or you
it.
can conceive
believe
it,
it,
and
Okay.
you got to be able to believe it,
Believe it.
you can do it.
then you can conceive it. You can do it.
I believe that wholeheartedly.
I don't think it's no what, but you got to be truthful to yourself and believe it. I
Mhm.
ain't saying that if I could think I could go and win a Grammy singing,
Okay.
and I could believe that, but am I truthfully believing that? So if I'm true,
It's
being
gotta be
truthful,
reality.
yes, exactly. So
You know.
that's the concept. I mean, I would live and die by that. You know,
Oh, I love it. I
Bob
love
Hope,
it.
the man, boy.
Bob,
Bob Hope, what's up,
Bob.
why?
Oh. Well, first, I want to thank you so much for being open and inspiring and accepting to come on to, my little live that I do.
It was fun.
Fun, right? It was good. So I just want to encourage my viewers to like share this episode, guys, and just follow me to make sure that you're up to date on guests that I have coming on and what I got going on as far as the glow factor. So you can always find me on Facebook, you can find me on TikTok. Facebook and TikTok, I'm under Glow Shepherd. YouTube, I'm under the Glow Factor. So definitely look me up. So in closing, is it something that you want to do before I do my closing statement? You want to say anything else? You want to close out before I do my closing?
I'm a quiet guy. We tend to talk a lot.
So you don't talk a lot. You don't talk a lot tonight. You don't talk a lot tonight.
So,
So I want to thank you so very much for coming on. This has been very inspiring. It has been very motivating. Definitely, I want to say before I do my closing for the men, guys, go to the doctor, go get your labs, go get checked out. And they always say men don't like to go to the doctor. I mean, women don't like to go to the doctor either. We really don't. That's just we really don't. But please go, guys, get checked out, get early detection, get your test done,
absolutely,
because it can definitely save your life. It can prolong,
absolutely. And that's one thing. The cancer I had, prostate cancer, they have come so far with the treatment of it. I know this is definitely one cancer that you should not lose your life over. But the key is early detection. You know, you have to go get checked.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Go get checked. So in closing, if Dwan's journey shows us anything, it's that where you start does not define where you finish, but the choices you make along the way will. From the streets to success, from sickness to survival, his story is proof that transformation is possible and purpose can be found in the places you least expect. Thank you, Dewan, for being real with us tonight. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. Remember, your past is a chapter, not the whole book. Until next time, keep shining because the world needs your glow. So the Glow Factor. This has been another episode of the Glow Factor. Tune in, guys, next week. I got another amazing episode coming up. So tune in and thank you again, Dewan.
Thank you.
You guys have a great night.
Good.